So let's get that started. And away we go. So the enter button. All right. Thank you, Shane, for that Saskatoon welcome. Or maybe it's from Moose Jaw, I'm not sure. I am on the road today. On the road again. I feel like, what was the guy who was on the road? Did the show in Minnesota? I was going to say
Garrison Keeler?
Jason
DeRocha?
No, older guy. Anyhow, we digress. I'm here in the frozen white tundra, but actually they kind of sloppy, freezing rain, a little sun today, with an icon at Edina Realty, Jarrod Peterson. We're in the Maple Grove office. I was fortunate enough to be able to tell them a little bit about us and about the Valley market. And Jarrod is very involved in the Minneapolis market. And we're at our sister company, Edina Realty. So Long Realty, Edina Realty, all part of HomesServices of America and leading real estate companies in the world. So with that, Jarrod, you've been here 18 years.
I have.
You've got a group.
Yep, I have a real estate team, and thank you, Jay. It's great to be here. I appreciate it, and
Yep.
we're really glad that you came to our office today. You shared a lot of good information.
He sounds like Barry White.
I've had a sore throat here for the last 24 hours. Sorry about that. So I've been doing this for 18 years, and I do have a real estate team. We have 2 other licensed agents on our team, and then a business manager. So there's 4 of us in total, and we're very fortunate to be one of the top teams at Edina Realty and one of the top in the state.
Well, I watch you vicariously through all the social media platforms, and you are very active. Do you do all your own? Like, you're on Twitter and all that stuff. Are you doing all that?
Yeah, I do use a marketing firm called Prime Advertising and Design. I do like them. And they've been working with me for 5-6 years. They do some of it. That if you see more formal stuff, they do that. If you see more ad hoc, cheesy, cheeky, kind of fun, spur of the moment, that's me. Yeah.
The authentic, cheeky, cheesy stuff is you, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The spin is not. So So your group, what area? I know we cover everywhere, but what area is your specialty? Would you say?
So we've been fortunate to be named Maple Grove's #1 real estate group, team, and realtor here for several years, like 15 plus years. So we specialize in Maple Grove, Plymouth, and Brooklyn Park in the upper Northwest Metro.
Yeah.
On my team, I also have someone who covers central Minnesota. That's Jonathan Brenny. He's been in St. Cloud in the Foley area for the 12 years he's been licensed, and he's been a real estate leader up there. So we really do cover St. Cloud all the way coming down the I-94 corridor down to Maple Grove, Plymouth, Minnetonka.
Actually, that's a natural addition to have when you think about how things expand. So you expand when things are growing, they grow up the Northwest, and when they don't, they shrink. But
he's been a really nice addition to our team. He's been part of our team for 6 years, and Jonathan did that because he thought, I'm going to be doing more business down in the Twin Cities. He knew me and my brand name, so he said, "Can I become part of your team?" And he's been great. He decided not to move down to the Twin Cities. That was possibly going to happen as well, but he decided not to. He got married, they have a kid, now they bought a house up there, and he's from there. He absolutely loves that area, so he works a lot in the central.
Staying his authentic self.
Yeah.
Right? Working his lane. So when you look at your real estate market, so everyone has their misconceptions about the marketplace, and I talked about a couple of ours. Ours is we have no water, and we're gonna, according to Goldman Sachs, we're gonna crash like 2008, which is fake news. What are some of the hurdles here? I mean, because I know of moving from here and real estate here to Arizona, they are wildly different markets in many ways. I mean, there are always some 37,000 foot things that are the same, but when you really get into the market, what are some of the pluses, minus, hurdles, things that you're running into?
I think, overall, we got some misconceptions that are out there that no one lives downtown St. Paul or downtown Minneapolis, and that's not the case at all. They're both pretty vibrant downtown areas.
Right.
They've had some recent challenges in the last 3 to 5 years, of course. And I know a lot of people still talk about that, like no one's moving to Minneapolis. That's wrong. We sell a lot of homes in Minneapolis. For every home we sell quickly that someone's moving out of, someone else is moving into that home.
True.
So the turnover is very decent and it's very positive. We've got high-end homes in our marketplace that a lot of people aren't aware of. Like, we're building a condo in downtown Minneapolis called the 11. Those condos are going for multi-million dollars, like crazy, and their occupancy rate is really high already. So I think people don't think of luxury living when they think of Minneapolis and the Twin City market.
Well, yeah, and of course, you know, the little bit of disruption that happened in the downtowns a few years ago gives people perpetuate those types of things. But it's interesting. My daughter and her significant other just purchased the triplex they're living in, and they are right in the heart of what was, you know, I guess the battle zone, and that area is, you know, yeah, that's changed, yeah, you know, but it's changed for the better, and nothing stays static. And for them, it helped them buy at a better price than prior to. And so, you know, I think everything that we on the local market, and we talk about this all the time about hyper local. It's almost we're in a constant battle to dispel the myths, and they can even be local myths. There's people that just aren't, you know, in tune with what's going on, especially when people are relocating. I mean, you have a lot of relocation business coming in, and you know, so it's educating people on, you know, the suburbs, which is, you know, they're all different little micro markets in and of themselves.
Absolutely, we got a really vibrant Twin Cities here, and we have a really strong Fortune 500 base. I think currently we have about 17 Fortune 500 companies that are located here. We've been as high as 23 in the past, but through mergers, acquisitions, and stuff, it's at 17. But we have a really strong, diverse economic base as well between hospitality, healthcare, retail, financial services. So our economy is doing well in the Twin Cities. Price points are maintaining their price point. The sales prices are maintaining their price points just fine. We are seeing some softening of the market, not as much as other parts of the United States have seen. But that just means, you know, on a home that used to have 7 multiple offers, maybe they got 2. And those 2 offers are coming close to list price or right at list price. We're seeing very few homes in our market and with our business team selling under list price. They're still selling at list. It's just taking a little longer to get there. Maybe a few less offers. You
know, when we've talked about balanced market, and you know, that can be kind of a 3 to 4 month supply depending on who you talk about. So it's 90 to 120 days. And we haven't seen that so long that, you know, we start creeping up. Our average days on market is now creeped up to 55, and people are like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yep.
And it's, you know,
we're at 41 here in the Twin Cities,
and that's, you know what, that's that's good.
Yep,
you know, we've always said people now can negotiate. They can actually do a home inspection. They can actually get it appraised.
Yep.
They can think about it, you
Yep.
know, as opposed to this buy and think about it later. You know, and which, you know, we know isn't always a good thing. I mean, I think of how many bills the House representative has passed and say pass it and we'll read it later kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not to get political, but
exactly. And here in our market, we have 41 days on the market right now, and we have, in most cities that are turning well, we probably have about 1.4 months of supply.
So it's tight.
It's still tight. It's still a seller's market, but the buyers are able to negotiate. The buyers can take a little longer, considering it's 40 days on average to sell a house. And they're getting some of their concessions along the way, right? They can inspect it. They might be able to negotiate that inspection result, and that's great news for everyone.
So, are you an up north guy?
Up north Minnesota.
Yeah,
it's beautiful up there.
No,
yeah.
do you have a place or had
No.
You work too hard.
I do work too hard. No time for that.
So I think we actually have an up north phenomenon that I didn't really know existed. I knew it was there, but I didn't really get involved in it. And where, you know, people in the valley will say, I got to get out of this, you know, July, August heat, which can be, you know, 110, 112, which dry heat really doesn't, when you say dry heat, that doesn't really soften the impact of that. But, you know, where people in our area will buy places, and there's Pine Top and Pine and Payson and Prescott, and so we actually see our marketplace expanding into those areas, because people moving in go, well, you know, I need a second place, or maybe I'll live up there. So have you guys gotten much? Do you do much showing, Brainerd Lakes or not?
I don't. We're being fortunate. We have fantastic referral partners all around. Edina Realty has 70 offices, and out of those 70 offices and 2,400 agents, we've got great referral partners throughout this region. So we do have a lot of referral opportunities for agents up there all the time.
Well, and that is, we were talking a little bit about that. I'm not licensed in Minnesota anymore, and it's probably one of the biggest reliefs ever because, it's hard to manage so many different marketplaces, and we have such great referral partners. I mean, that the reason we went to Long, we had the opportunity was because I knew that I was going to be able to step back into Edina Realty relationships plus the 50-some thousand other relationships around the world. So it has been a blessing. So when you guys so family, you were just talking about you go to frat parties. I think that's interesting at your age that you do that. But tell me a little bit about your family.
I have a graduating daughter who's attending High Point University. She's 22, and we went and visited her on family weekend this weekend. That's why we're going to go to a frat party. I don't spend my time at the frat house anymore.
See, that's what happens. So you hear a little thing and it gets passed on.
So I've got a beautiful wife I've been married to for 28 years. Her name's Linda. She's part of our team. She's our business manager. She's formerly trained as an accountant and had her CPA and everything, worked for corporations her whole life, and decided to join our real estate team 6 years ago. I have a son, Nick, who is 19 years old, and he is on the autism spectrum. So he is in a transitional program right now, kind of like a gap year, taking a transitional adult program to go between high school and college and figure out how best to make him successful when he joins college. He tutors at Mathnasium. He's off the charts brilliant in math. Absolutely the biggest NFL fan I've ever seen in my life. He knows history and statistics and trivia like no one. He's created NFL podcasts. It's really cool. So he's a joy. He still lives with us. And then our daughter Ashley will be graduating in May from
Is he a Vikings fan?
He's a Packer fan. Huge Packer fan.
How does that work?
But we're Vikings.
That's all you're going to say.
I gotta
We got to stay that right. And someone was saying to me, Super Bowl, hey, the Vikes, how good the Vikes are doing. I said, no, wait for it. I said, how come you're not? I said, wait for it. I said, they've got over a half a century of experience saying it ain't gonna happen. So I'm not much of a sports guy because when you work on weekends, they interfere. I found that football would interfere with my open house schedule.
Yeah.
People, where are people? Oh, they're watching that game. Gosh, I hope they lose. I can't say that out loud. They lose 2 or 3 in a row, and all of a sudden traffic would pick up again. I go, so this sports thing, I got to be on the other side of it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Our family, we certainly like sports. We have all the major sports here in Minnesota, and that's fun. But we love to travel, and one area that we have never gone to as a family is the area that you represent so well in Arizona. I've been there. Linda's been there for business. We haven't been there together as a family.
Well, you need to just get that on the list.
We'd love to do that.
You imagine I can't tell you all the people that will go, hey, we're coming down, and it's kind of like the old adage, hey, we want to look at a house in Scottsdale, and they go, well, it's 43 miles north south, so you want to pin that down a little bit. It's because you don't know it till you're there, but there's just so much happening. I'm amazed at how vibrant, even in the last 10, 11 years that I've been there, that it has changed. Restaurant scene and the fine arts. People think of it as Wile E. Coyote and Yosemite Sam, and everyone's running around and chasing roadrunners, but it's a pretty cultural place for being in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
I had a quick thought about, so are you a hockey fan?
Yeah, I like hockey.
I like hockey, and it's an easy ticket to get because the Coyotes are horrible. So, again, as you look at your business coming up in 23, I don't know what your soothsayers are saying about rates. If you look at the charts, there's one that we get that says they're predicting anywhere from, by the end of the year, 5s to 8, which means no one knows. what are you guys seeing?
So the majority of what I see and what I'm hearing from the professionals, the economists, stuff like that, they're saying we're going to end and be in the mid-5s most of the year. So I think I saw some charts that showed it could be as high as 7, but it's not going to be in the 4s. So if there's any message that we can share with the public out there is those who are waiting for the 2, 3, and 4% interest rates to happen, probably not going to happen. So if you're comfortable with a 5.125, which rates hit this week, here in Minnesota anyway, or a 5.5, buy a house and lock it in. Buy your investment property and lock it in. Hopefully they don't hit 7 again, 8 again. But I bought my first house in 1997 at just shy of 9%.
Well, we do this all the time. We go, when we bought in 80 whatever, it was 18% or whatever. And the generation today though goes, doesn't affect me. I don't care. It just went from 2 3/4 to 5, and I don't know what to do with that. But it's counseling. And the other thing that we're working on, and I don't know what you're seeing here, is our rental percentage of rentals is very, very, very high, and affluent renters. So renters that make over $150,000 per person, I think it is, make up 17% of our renters. And so part of that is young folks that just say, I don't want to be bothered by owning. But we've talked before on our podcast about how it's re-educating the young folks, so 30s, 20s, 30s, that long-term wealth, you got to live somewhere, so you might as well have it be a mechanism for you of wealth.
Absolutely.
Granted, buy a house just for wealth building. That isn't really its purpose, it's a place to live. But do you see that here, or is your first-time home buying market still pretty robust?
Our first-time home buyer market is pretty robust, and I'm really pleased that we do sell or live in Minnesota. I think Minnesota and one other state always trade off for the highest home ownership rates in the country. So I do know that there's a lot of affordable down payment programs, and we still have affordable housing here, and unlike so many parts of the country. So I find that those who rent would prefer to just rent short term. They would, they've got a goal of wanting to be in a home.
Right.
Something that I really like about the younger generation is I'm a firm believer Gen Z does not want to rent. They do not want to go from college at 22 and go into a rental. They see no value in it. They know that you can build wealth through real estate. They've learned that. They've grown up with that whole kind of mentality and being surrounded by everything that's influenced them. So I love and appreciate that. The youngest age that we have done a deal for on our team that I'm aware of is a 19-year-old gentleman. He has since bought 2 more homes. That was 4 years ago. So he's 23 today, and he has 3 properties now. He is going to be a wealthy guy by the time he's 30. And I was the one who helped him when he was 19. I was so proud of him for buying a townhome. He had a $10,000 loan from his mom and dad to do so. And he had a steady job. He got a technical degree right out of high school and was doing well. So I'm really proud of him now owning 3 homes. But I'd say the average young buyer for ours is between 22 to 24 years of age. And I wish I would have been smart enough to do it back in the day.
Well, isn't that the truth? You think about that. How all the things we should have, would have done. Do you know Tara Onken in out of, is it Wilmer? She's a manager, Southwest Minnesota. No, she's in. Well, anyhow, so I've met her a couple times. She's come down, and I helped one of her clients. We did buy something, and she's like 30. Owns a bunch of stuff, and she's one of those people that she gets it.
Yeah.
And so her message, we almost need the young folks giving the message to the young folks too, as well, because they go, look at those old guys and they go, yeah, whatever, But we have actually, it's been a relief. Our median home price has fallen back about $70,000. It was at $480, I think. It's back down to $410, and so now we're seeing some affordability back in the market as well. But because it had priced everybody out, and that was a real concern. I mean, that it didn't matter, and it wasn't really artificial. It was just the state of the market.
Yeah. So, our median sales price here in the Twin Cities is right around $370.
Yeah.
$365.
Which is pretty healthy.
It's very healthy. Yeah. And I was going to say, going back to mortgage interest rates, we have a saying here that says, even if you're renting, you are paying a mortgage rate. It's just at 100%. You're paying your landlord's mortgage rate. So
I like that. I like that. You should tweet that out.
That will make sure that happens. Yeah.
I don't have a whole heck of a lot more. Our marketplace is, as they said, the buyer's market has come to an end. Ours was we have the luxury of a phenomenal research company that just tracks everything, and we saw the I call it the air pocket when we felt like 10,000 feet in May or June. It sort of poof, and we stopped, and we saw the little hook. I refer to it as a hook echo, which everyone who had never been in a tornado area understood what that was. But I said, look, it's hooking. That means we're gonna have some action, and we've seen everything coming up from about December 15th, and so we feel it'll be a very very healthy marketplace this year. As again, we've got we're going to see the Waste Management Phoenix Open is this week. I should be there. It generates about $500 million worth of revenues and they're talking about 500, 200, 300,000 people coming just for that.
Just for that.
And then we've got, of course, Super Bowl, which they're saying is going to generate about $1.1 billion worth of revenue for the valley, and I don't know how many people that involved. There's Super Bowl in every corner of the valley this week, and so it causes traffic problems, of course, and we see all the snowbirds and the Minnesota plates where they drive slow in the fast lane, and up here when I drive, I have to adjust to that. That's the expressway. You're supposed to be over there, but that you can't change it. What would be your one? So for your people who might hear this, what's the number one reason to use your group? What would you say? What is the thing people say? Not you say, but what do your clients say year after year after year about you?
So I think they say a couple things, but I think what we hear a lot, very consistently, is our communication is outstanding. We're authentic, we're real, we're sincere, we care about our clients, we're responsive, but we're proactive. I think they really like our communication and our communication style. Our real estate team has a lot of fun. We've hosted, in 18 years, almost 40 real estate parties for our clients, everything from boat rides and casino nights to formal steak dinners, luxury bus tours where we go tour multi-million-dollar mansions, and then just some fun nonprofit events or theater nights, and so they enjoy that. They're more than just a transaction, and that sounds really cliche, but they get to become our friends. Some of them are our family, and I personally have probably helped a dozen clients get jobs after they started working with me. They're unhappy in their job. I'm really well connected in the Twin Cities and found new positions for them. I've helped people find future spouses that are clients of clients and stuff. And
Jarrod, the matchmaker.
The matchmaker.
The song, It Can Only Be Jarrod. You own part of the jewelry store too?
Well, that'd be fun. That'd be nice, Jarrod, the jewelry.
Oh, man.
So I think people really like our communication and our consistency.
Well, number one, so we were talking a little bit, we're making fun of the Amway of real estate and a few others, and they're all about online and text and email only.
Avatars.
Communication, what the heck? No, this is what you get. I'm not going to make me a cartoon or nothing because I'm not going to the meta sphere, whatever that is. Although I said someone should contact Elon Musk, and I think this is a home services store, and vie to be the official real estate company of Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to go there. So
HomesServices.
I think they should. They'll have an office.
It's interesting. So we know that there's going to be less realtors in the business in a year from now, right? If the business has softened a little bit, we had 200,000 people add the real estate license to their pedigree here in the last couple of years, let's say. We know there's going to be a lot of follow-up from that. Something that I heard from an upper-level person at a competing company that was always focused on recruiting agents. They're concerned because that business model they built to recruit agents and get people underneath them is going to suffer. she actually told me that her company now is training people on how to make money selling VRBOs and renting VRBOs and stuff. So she was really proud that her company was doing that. And I just looked at her and I said, why don't you guys train your agents to be better realtors, right? To buy and sell more effectively, to work with clients. Now this has become your new thing. You're training your agents to go out and buy investment property and manage a VRBO for secondary income. She didn't have an answer for that, but I thought it was really interesting that the part of their business model is, hey, less recruitment, go buy an investment property and get some secondary income that way. It's interesting.
I would agree with you, and I've talked about this before, and I mentioned the meeting when Chris Stewart was CEO of HomesServices at Berkshire Hathaway. He at convention. This is when Keller had just announced they were going to be a tech company. They're a tech company, not a real estate company. And we have sign up, get your down leads going in, and you'll get stock and all this stuff. And he said, we're a real estate company. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services is a real estate company. Home Services America is a real estate company, and we use tech. And I think that when markets change, it's a decision we make. Mm-hmm. Either we're going to be real estate professionals, trusted advisors, or we're going to be recruiters for downstream income, or we're going to be just sending out bots and tech and not talking to people. And I don't think since the day they threw rocks in the corner when they were marking land back in the Stone Age that it was always a people deal. Yep. And it has never changed, and it always will be. The last plug I want to make is for people will say to me, why are you why is it so important to be a part of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services? And I'm sitting at a table that answers that question. I can literally go to an office in Minnesota where not too many people know, and we can talk about real estate. And I know that any one of those people could be a referral partner. I could call them if I had a question. And they're all part of the same families. They come from the same mindset. I remember when Ron and Bob Peltier would make the rounds at the offices, not because they were doing the pat on the back, patronizing golf clap, because they wanted to know what agents were hearing on the street and wanted to implement it. And that's why you guys have been number one for 23 years. Yes. I'm saying I almost said 27, but you will be. It just takes 4 more years. Yeah. And and I think that to me is the bonus. It's become in our market. We're such a global market. Local real estate happens, but majority of it is someone moving from somewhere, and being part of these kinds of networks is imperative to that.
It's fantastic. I mean, I'm very proud to be with Edina Realty here in the local market, even prouder to be part of HomesServices of America and all of the #1 and #2 leading service companies that they have underneath their umbrella of their parent company is just fantastic. There's just no one better out there than HomesServices of America, for sure.
I agree. Well, I'm going to wrap up because I have to go on to my next, and Jarrod's going to sell some houses.
Yeah, gotta get some houses.
I want to thank Maple Grove for having me in. I'd like to thank Jarrod for being on the podcast and being a great Minnesota partner. If you're looking for someone in Minnesota, call Jarrod. Jarrod knows, isn't that, what is it?
Yeah, my website's AskJarrodHeKnows.com.
AskJarrodHeKnows.com. I love that. It's second only to Orange's Truth. But Jarrod even wore some orange today. They had some orange cheese today here. I mean, this group bought into it. And a reminder, we are sponsored, Dave Ballinger, by Lawyers Title, where they will give you clear title every day of the week. See you next time. Follow us on all your favorite podcast channels, and like, subscribe, download, comment, call Jarrod, call me. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks, Jay.
Bye. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was fun. Thank you. That was good.
Well, I thought about you know, one of the things I was thinking about, we'll have to coordinate, I have to think about it further is,
I'm just taking pictures
oh
of
yeah,
what you have for
is,
equipment.
you know, we talked about maybe doing a joint meeting where everybody zoom in and talk about some of your best practices. We've gone to 2 sales meetings a month instead of 4 because we're doing more trainings.
Okay.
We did a poll of our group, and it was overwhelming how much training they said they want more training, which is funny to me because